Hi everyone and welcome to week 7. I'm Heather Brandon, your course instructor. I hope you have really been enjoying the course. We're about to that midway point, and if you get a moment, definitely email me some feedback. Let me know how you're feeling about things, your thoughts on the course, if I'm helping you meet the goals you set forth at the beginning when you introduced yourself using that profile function on Titanium. At this time, it appears that you are getting really comfortable with those WAPR assignments and administering the assessments and uploading your videos, even though it's taking a little bit longer than we'd all like. But it seems like things are going really well on my end, at least. Definitely let me know if that is not the case for you so I can help you before the course is over and it's too late. All right, this is what we've got going on this week as far as upcoming assignments. Before I jump into those, I did want to go over a couple of announcements because I've been getting a few questions that I want to address. This week, you're going to do your 4th session with your student, your 4th of 5. So you're almost done with this first student. So I want you to be thinking about the next part of the practicum sessions, your work with your older student. And a lot of people ask, what does that mean, older student? Well, you can really work with any student above 3rd grade, because by that time it's hoped that the decoding is in place and you can really focus on the whole process of reading and not do a lot of those early literacy assessments. So you can do 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, you can go middle school, you can go high school. I know a couple of people wanted to get some familiarity working with older than high school college students. You could try that out as well. There might be some limitations along the way if you do go high school or up. I know that the QRI, which we're giving, does go up to high school, but it's not as probably valid of an assessment at that level. And then some of the assessments we'll be using in the core for vocabulary only go up to 8th grade, so you may have to develop something of your own. So just know that now. Ideally, you would probably pick someone 4th, 5th, 6th grade range, but I definitely want to leave it open to you to get the experience that you're looking for. So if you do want to go high school, I'm happy to work with you to modify some of the assessments and assignments. And if you want to do some introductory college students who need some reading help, you could also go there as well. So please be looking for that student. Your permission form for them is due October 19th. Your first session with them will start week 10, so that begins October 26th. And then I just want you to pay attention to the time of the fall recess, which is week 14. The way this falls, you will be expected to do 4 of your sessions prior to the fall recess, and then the last session, the 5th session, after the fall recess. But please communicate with your students' family if they plan on going on any trips, if they foresee any conflicts, because I know it's hard to plan around their schedule as well as your schedule. So I would work to schedule with them all 5 of the sessions so that you know when those are occurring and you can make sure to get your assignments done and complete on time. All right, be looking for that second student. Let me know if you have any difficulty with that. This week we have a number of readings. Again, we're going to be looking at Lipson and Wixon first in the informal assessment chapter and reading the pages that correspond to writing assessment, since that's our focus of the week. And then also looking at the structured assessment chapter and reading about those assessments that might be relevant and helpful for writing. I'm hoping that in reading these you will get some ideas for your assessment this week. One of them will be the words their way to do spelling orthography, but then you will have free reign to develop your own assessment for writing. So definitely look to the ideas provided in those chapters. We also want to review Lipson and Wixon Chapter 7, which goes over the development of writing. You need to take a look at the Words Their Way scoring guide on Titanium. This is going to help you score and analyze your Words Their Way assessment. And then lastly, you need to read Chapter 6 in the QRI, which is pages 40 to 47. This is about administering the word list. You definitely want to make sure that you know how to do that and you know to use a C for correct instead of a check mark, because I will be looking for all of those things in your artifacts, so please adhere to the guidelines set forth by that test publisher. And then this week we are giving the word list so that next week you will be prepared to do the QRI. And the word list helps you determine where to start with the QRI, so it's going to be very important that you give that this week so you can get the different levels of assessment copied for next week and you know exactly where to start. Participation activity is back with the forum discussion. I have a file online on our Course Titanium site titled Assessment Artifacts for Discussion Forum. Convenient. There are some assessment artifacts that you will need to look and analyze in order to discuss the following prompt: what do you notice from the results? What phase of word recognition development is the student in, and how do you know? And then what is your recommendation for further assessment and instruction? You don't actually have to provide interventions for me, but what you do need to say is there is a gap in the area of X, Y, and Z. They need further instruction specifically in R controlled sounds or whatever. And that is due October 12th, and no late participation activities will be accepted, so please have that done October 12th. Other assignments due this week: WAPR number 4, you should be an old pro at these by now, the forum discussion, and there is no video due this week. I trust that you can all give a spelling test or a writing prompt, so I do not need video evidence of that, but you will need to give a video next week when you do the QRI. All right, session number 4. As you've probably gathered, our focus is on spelling and writing. There are 3 required pieces for this session. First, in the structured assessment realm, you are giving the Words Their Way spelling inventory, and I will go over directions and helpful tips for that in an upcoming lecture this week. Second assessment, you have a lot of flexibility with. This should be more of an informal, classroom-based, classroom-embedded type of assessment that gives you a sense of the student's writing abilities, their process for writing. You may want to give them a prompt if you feel like they have that ability. You could give them a prompt, use one of the different rubrics I've provided or one of your own to score their narrative or expository or opinion persuasive piece. You may want to look to the Common Core standards to get some ideas of an assignment you could create for them for this assessment. Keep in mind that reading generally precedes writing. So if your student did poorly on the core phonics survey and you don't feel like they have a lot of writing abilities, you may want to do some of those more emergent writing assessments that are mentioned in the text, writing all the words they know, that kind of thing. And then lastly, you're giving the QRI 5 word list, which will help you prepare for session 5. Make sure you read the chapter about how to give that so you can follow that. And there are plenty of resources on Titanium, so check them out. And then your last session, session 5, will be the QRI for both narrative and expository, and then you should do some sort of celebration or wrap up with your student, and there will be a video due of the QRI, so plan on that. All right, there's a lot coming up in the next few weeks as we wrap up with our first student and we start to work with our second student, so I just wanted to make sure that everybody is clear on what's going on. So week 8, next week, is going to be on how to administer the QRI. So you're going to be reading QRI chapters 1 through 5, pages 1 through 39. There's some QRI video clips you should look at so you're comfortable administering that assessment. You'll do your last practicum session and you will video one of the QRIs so you can submit that. There will be a participation activity and the parent permission form is due. So note that there is no WAPR number 5 due on week 8. It's going to be due week 9, but you still have a video, a participation activity, and then need to get that parent permission form. Week 9 is focused on the scoring of the QRI, which is why I'm waiting to have you submit the WAPR until after we talk about how to score the QRI. So for week 9, you'll read QRI chapter 7 through 13. There's also a couple articles. We'll do WAPR number 5 that week. Then you're going to start the RTI plan, but that's not due until November 9th. So you definitely have plenty of time to work on that assignment. Week 10 starts October 26th. You've got an article, practicum session 1, WAPR number 6, which is your first one with your new student, and no video. But there is a discussion forum happening that week. So you only have a week in between finishing up with your old student and starting with your new student. I just want to make sure everyone is well aware of that and that I'm communicating that. So that's a look ahead at the next 3 weeks. If you have any questions, definitely email me. Let me know what was not clear. Good luck this week. Enjoy your second to last session with your student.